This is it. Last week of the season. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, this is it. Last picks video of 2020. Actually, you guys are watching this on New Year's Eve. So I want to say to you guys all, Happy New Year. I'll talk about, New Year's and stuff like that. Probably in tomorrow's preview video, what we can expect. Or I might even make a New Year's-ish video next week, being that it is a new year. We're going to go into 2021 by midnight tonight. But hope you guys have a safe and happy New Year's tonight. It's pouring here in Jersey, and I have a 2-week-old, going to be 3-week-old tomorrow. I'm not doing anything. I will be staying home, relaxing, trying to catch up on any type of sleep that I can actually get. But before we jump into the picks video, you guys know I have to talk about a few things. First and foremost, patrons. I have 3 new Patreons that I need to shout out. We have Ron Murray, an MVP Patreon. We have Zachary Body, one of my new mods. And we have Tom G, another one of my mods. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon. If you guys do want to join the Patreon, it is linked below. Essentially what the Patreon is a monthly subscription where you guys get some awesome, fantastic things. You get to join the Discord, you get to become a mod, the MVPs. I got some special stuff planned for you guys coming on the channel or playing me in Madden. Stuff like that is planned. So if you guys want to join, it is linked below. Other thing, last video, if you remember, there's patch vibes. You got this awesome patch, you got this awesome pin, and all that great stuff. They're also, if you use the promo code, and last video I said it was specifically for you guys, but this is just in general. If you use the promo code free patch, you get a free patch with your purchase. This patch, free. So be sure to use that patch. Also, we are doing a giveaway for this t-shirt here. So essentially how it's going to work on the giveaway. Go to my last video on Tuesday where I talked about the bright future. Give your score prediction. If you already did it, you're fine. I got you. Give your score prediction. The closest, if you get a score prediction right for Sunday's game, you will be in a drawing with everyone else that got the score right to win the t-shirt. If you got closest, you will be put in together in a raffle, and I will announce the winner on Monday. Now, how does this work? I know it's going to get very confusing. If you're within, say no one gets it right, if you're within a point, so say you predicted the score to be 23-16, the Dolphins win, and the Dolphins ended up winning 22-16, then you would be in there. Or if the Dolphins ended up winning 23-15, then you'd be in there. See how that works? So if you don't get it right, say if no one gets it right, closest goes into the raffle. But if one person gets it right, gets it perfect, then they win. That's how it's working. If you get the score right and you're the only one who gets it right, you win. But if multiple people get it right, you go into the drawing. And that drawing will be on Monday. I will let you guys know in the post-game video how that all panned out. Okay, it's very confusing. But just go on my last video if you haven't yet. On the Bright Future video, give your score prediction if you haven't done it already. If you did, I already got it. You can only do it once. And also, don't forget to use the promo code free patch to get yourself a 25th anniversary patch with your purchase. So let's jump into the picks video. Before we jump into it, just real quick, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. My father did not give his picks this week. He, unfortunately, yesterday I asked him, hey, Dad, give me your picks. I was going to record the video last night. I'm recording it actually probably about an hour before you're seeing it, and he told me he's in the hospital. Now, it's nothing serious. From the last update I got, he's fine. Everything should be fine. He should be out. Everything should be good. But he's in the hospital, and he didn't give his picks. So my father's too far back to even try to win. I think he's 17 behind me, and he's 12 behind you guys. So he's too far back to actually come back and win. But he's fine. I just want to give you guys an update because I don't have his picks, and I don't want to just make the picks for him and assume what he thinks. But I just want to let you guys know what's going on with that, and he's fine. I'll keep you guys updated and let you know when he gets out of the hospital. It was a shock to me because I asked him, hey, Dad, give me your picks. And all of a sudden he was like, I'm in the hospital. And I was like, who, what? But he's fine. But let's talk about last week. All of us went 11-5. You guys are sitting at a 162.77 record. I'm sitting at a 167.76 72 record, and my father's sitting at a 150-90 record. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, you guys need to pick 5 games differently than me. And again, just give complete transparency. I make my picks before you guys make your picks on last night. Because what I do is I give you till Wednesday night to make your picks, and then I close the ballots. And that's the little thing you pop up, I think, over here. With the pie chart, I don't even see that. So I make my picks, and unfortunately, you guys were 4 games different than me, and I am 5 games ahead of you. I could change one of my picks to make it interesting, but I honestly don't see any of these games that I could flip the other way. So I won by 1 game. If everything pans out, I will win by 1 game. So I came back and pulled this sucker off. Yippee to me. But we'll still have fun on this last picks video, talking about who I think will win, who the Dolphins should root for if by some way they lose to the Bills. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm hoping they don't. But let's jump into this. I'm rambling on too much. We'll start with the 1 o'clock game. There is no Thursday game, so there is no game tonight. 1 o'clock game, Falcons taking on the Buccaneers. Now, I looked into this, and I was going to pick the Falcons because I thought the Buccaneers weren't playing their starters because the Buccaneers kind of clinched a playoff spot. But I'm hearing that the Buccaneers are playing their starters, and we saw last week against the Lions that even with Mike Glennon in there, was it Mike Glennon or Blaine Gabbert? You guys can let me know in the comment section below. But even with their backup quarterback in, they were torching the Lions because they still have a ridiculous amount of weapons around them. What does that say about Tom Brady? I'm picking the Bucs. I don't think that they'll beat I don't think the Falcons will beat them. Falcons got close to beating the Chiefs, though. They got real close to beating the Chiefs. But as a Dolphin fan, with the Bills beating the Patriots, if the Texans just lose, the Dolphins clinch number 3. So it doesn't really matter because by the Bills winning, that hurts the strength of schedule for everyone else. So I'm picking the Bucs, and you guys with the 87% even picking the Bucs as well. Then we have the Cowboys and the Giants. The NFC least. The only team that can't win the division right now is the Eagles. So both of these teams are going to be rooting for the Eagles to win, and they need to win their game. I'm taking the Giants in this one. I think that the Giants will come out, they'll play hard, and they will beat the Cowboys. Andy Dalton and those Cowboys played well. They played well against the 49ers, surprising them, all that stuff. But I'm going with the Giants, and you guys, this is our first difference, are going with the Cowboys with a 68.1%. I like to see the Giants pull this one off. Then we have the Jets taking on the Patriots. The Jets. You won 1 game against the Rams, right? And there was still a chance that you could somehow get Trevor Lawrence. And you played the Browns, and the Browns had none of their wide receivers playing because of COVID. Dolphin fans needed the Browns to lose. Not only did you somehow end up screwing yourselves out of getting Trevor Lawrence, but you helped the Dolphins out, a division rival. But they're taking on the Patriots, who for the first time in, 20 years have a losing record thanks to the Dolphins and the Bills. I'm going with the Patriots in this one. I think the Patriots will try to end on a high note. And you guys with a 50.4% also going with the Patriots in this one. Then we have the Vikings taking on the Lions. The Lions who just got their heads kicked in by the Buccaneers. Vikings, Delvin Cook is just too good, and they'll, want to go out with a bang, like I said. Same thing with the Patriots. So I'm going with the Vikings, and you guys with an 88.8% going with the Vikings as well. Then we have the Steelers taking on the Browns, and this is a game that the Dolphins, just for security, want the Steelers to win. Mason Rudolph is starting. Ben Roethlisberger is not starting because their bye week got screwed up with the whole Tennessee Titans thing and COVID and all that stuff. I think that the Steelers are still going to win this one. I think that the Browns are dealing with some things. I think they're still dealing with COVID things. They had to shut down their training facility and all that stuff. I'm still picking the Steelers in this one. You guys with the 78.4 are also picking the Steelers in this one. Just so you know, if all the teams win but the Browns, so if the Colts win, the Ravens win, the Dolphins win, and the Titans win and the Browns lose, the Browns aren't in the playoffs. And they're trying to get in the playoffs for the first time in, I think 16 years or something like that. So, Brown fans, you guys really need this one to be pulled off. But I'm going with the Steelers in this one. Then we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on Cincinnati Bengals. We want the Bengals to win. Again, security issues. But The Ravens are going to win. I'm taking the Ravens. You guys with an 81.9 are going to take the Ravens. I don't see the Bengals surprising the Ravens like they did the Steelers. Then we have the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Seahawks clinched the NFC West. They're trying to get that number one seed. It's between the Seahawks, it's between the Packers, and it's between the Saints. All of those teams are playing at 4 o'clock for obvious reasons, so one team doesn't rest their starters versus the others. Seahawks are going to win this one. I'm picking the Seahawks. You guys with an 89.9 also taking the Seahawks. Then we have the Cardinals and the Rams. Now, the Cardinals and the Rams need a lot of things to happen, right? So the Cardinals need to beat the Rams and they need the Bears to lose to make the playoffs. Rams, same thing. They kind of need to win, and there's a lot of things that need to go on. But I honestly, looking at this one, I think the Cardinals are going to win this one. I think the Cardinals are going to come out. Goff is injured. He won't be playing, and I think that's really going to put a hampering on them. They're going to have to really rely on their defense, but I'm going with the Cardinals in this one. I think Kyler Murray is a little too dangerous for that. You guys actually going with the Rams, 51.5%. Then we have the Jaguars and the Colts. This is another game that the Dolphins want the Jaguars to win for, a cushion, just in case, God forbid, we lose to the Bills. But that's not happening. Even though the Jaguars locked up the number one pick, that's not happening. I honestly think that the Colts are going to win. Colts lost after going up by a lot against the Steelers. I'm taking the Colts. You guys with the 62.7 going with the Colts. Then we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Houston Texans. This one, it kind of matters. The Titans, if they lose, the Colts win, and the Dolphins win, and I think the Ravens win, and I think the Browns win. Titans actually probably don't make the playoffs, if I'm correct in that. But I'm pretty sure I'm correct in that they wouldn't make the playoffs or in some type of scenario. Dolphins want the Texans to lose this one because then we get locked into the 3rd overall pick. I honestly don't see the Titans losing this one. Titans have something to play for. They're not going to rest their starters. It doesn't matter if Watson is playing for the Texans or not. Titans are going to win this one. I'm taking the Titans. You guys with the 65.7 also taking the Titans. Then we have the Raiders and the Broncos. The Raiders got bailed out by a real sketchy PI. And he also got bailed out by not calling a real sketchy PI. 19 seconds left in that game. You guys go into a cover 2. You don't cover Matt Collins. And we march down the field after a ridiculous face mask. Taking on the Broncos. Fun fact, I was at the supermarket yesterday. And a guy, I had my Dolphins hoodie on. Not the DDW hoodie, but my Dolphins hoodie that you probably saw in the last video. And this guy walked by me with the Raiders mask on. And he said, that game last week sucked. And then he continued to walk. And because you can't see my mask, I got a mask, you can't see my face. I couldn't smile at him. So I verbally went, ha ha. And I kept walking. Just makes me laugh that Raider fans got so mad at us. You got bailed out. You almost got bailed out to win. Suck it up, buttercup. But I'm going with the Raiders in this one. I think the Raiders are going to beat the Broncos. I think the Raiders just are a little bit of a better team. You guys also with a 79.3 are picking the Raiders. Then we have the Chiefs taking on the Chargers. Chad Henne's starting for the Chiefs. Very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting game. They're not playing Patrick Mahomes. I will be surprised if they play Tyreek Hill. I'd be surprised if they play Travis Kelce. I'd be surprised if they play any of their starters in this one. They don't need to. They have the number one seed locked up. I'm thinking the Chargers for that exact reason. I think that the Chargers will win this one because of that exact reason that they're not playing the starters. You guys disagree. 80.4 of you are taking the Chiefs. And we got the Packers taking on the Bears. This is another game where the Bears need to win this one to make the playoffs. If they lose, it's Rams and Cards potentially can get in. Or I think it's just the Cards. I think the Rams are already in. But the Packers want to win this one to continue having the number one seed. And like I said, there's a reason why the Packers game, the Saints game, and the Seahawks game are all at 425 because that is for the number one seed. Packers are going to win this one. If they need to, they will, and they will. I'm taking the Packers. You guys with the 87.3 also taking the Packers. Speaking of a team that needs to win, Saints. Saints taking on the Panthers. Saints need to win. They need the Packers to lose. I think they also need the Seahawks to lose. Or no, they just need the Packers to lose, and they try to get the number one seed. And for that exact reason, I'm taking the Saints. If they don't need to win, I see them resting their starters, but I think they need to win. Taking the Saints, you guys with a 96.4, also taking the Saints. Then we have the Sunday night game of the Washington football team taking on the Eagles. And this is a big game for the NFC least, where if Washington wins, they are the champions. If they lose, then it comes down to who wins between the Giants and the Cowboys. I honestly think that the Eagles are going to win this one. I think that Hurts is going to come out and play much better, continue to strive and do as well as he's somewhat doing, because I think he struggled a little bit last week. I'm taking the Eagles, but you guys with 55.2 are taking the Washington football team. Then we have a very big pivotal game. A lot of people were wondering why this game wasn't the Sunday night game. I think it's because the division title wasn't on the line. Got the Miami Dolphins heading up to Buffalo, taking on the 12-3 Buffalo Bills, who already clinched the division. Tomorrow I will have Dan Mitchell on the channel, my guy, my buddy, Buffalo Bills YouTuber. I'll have him on the channel tomorrow to talk about a lot about the Bills and about this game. I can't really... My dad's taking the Dolphins, regardless if he gave his picks or not. We all know my dad bleeds these colors, and he always, regardless of the team we're playing for 16 straight games, will be picking the Dolphins, and he's picking the Dolphins in this one. So my father's taking the Dolphins. You guys with the 60.1. Not as big as a margin as you would think, because a lot of people like to say that we're biased fan base, but you guys are also taking the Dolphins. If you guys want to know who I'm picking, you have to watch tomorrow's preview video with Dan Mitchell. But yeah, be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of the picks. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win the seeds? Who do you think is going to get in? Be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. This comment comes from Zach, and Zach says, also comment of the day, because he gave me his score prediction. Like I said, I see these things. If you had to trade Jerome Baker or pay him, which option would you choose? He needs to be discussed on your show. He is a perplexing player. Fins up. First off, Zach, great use of the word perplexing. Great using the word perplexing. And the fact that you knew how to spell it, not saying you didn't, but I probably would have spelled it wrong because I am dyslexic. I'm surprised I read it right. I picked this comment because it's exactly what he said. It needs to be talked about. And sometimes I just breeze it off the top of my head because the rest of the defense plays so well that Jerome Baker kind of disappeared. But it seems like in the past, 3 weeks, he's gotten 7 sacks. And he needs to be talked about. Jerome Baker is one of my favorite players on the team. I always defended Jerome Baker when a lot of people didn't like Jerome Baker. Same thing with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I defended him when a lot of people didn't like him. But now all of a sudden, people want to kiss his butt, which I find very interesting. Jerome Baker is an anomaly. Like you said, he's a very perplexing player. When he's when they blitz him, he gets in there, he gets sacks, he makes plays, but he kind of disappears in the other aspects of the game when it comes to run stopping and coverage. I would pay him, but not as much as he might want. But the Dolphins are in a situation where they can start making those decisions because of how they're playing and how well they're doing. That, look, you see what we have going here, you see what we're building here, you can continue to be part of this, or we can just let you go. So I'm liking that aspect of it, and I'm liking that we can do those things. So I would pay him, but not as much as he probably want. I think he is a free agent, or he with the Dolphins can. Yeah, I think he's a free agent. I don't think they could pick up his option. Again, comment below, let me know. I try to keep him, but I also like Mekhi Parsons, so I'd probably add a different middle linebacker. I think the Dolphins, besides certain players with Van Ginkel, with Kyle Van Noy, Gruger Hill's been playing well, Landon Roberts. We got Beagle come back next year. I'd still want to add some to the linebacking core. So it all depends on how much he wants and what that whole situation is. But Zach, very good question. Very good use of the word perplexing. I'm surprised I read it right. But that's the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. I will keep you guys updated on my father. I should be getting news soon. But like I said, he should be fine. It's just he's a truck driver, and he went 14 straight hours of driving. And, you know, it might just be fatigue, but like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. I know you guys are already in the comment section, you know, wishing him best wishes, and I greatly appreciate that. He loves every single one of you guys, and he loves this channel in general. He's happy that I'm doing what I love. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow in the video breaking down the Dolphins taking on the Bills. It's a very, 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 one more time, very important game for the Miami Dolphins. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, but like usual, stay classy. Offense up.